Now, it's always a dilemma when you're making YouTube videos, because people, I feel, tune in to be entertained, informed, and possibly enlightened. However, no one really tunes in to be miserable and downcast. But I also want to be very honest with you and authentic with you. And you know what? Sometimes things just don't go to plan. They don't go so well. And I guess, you know, you have to take the rainy days to appreciate the sunny days. I don't want to come over as a whinging old whinge bag, but unfortunately, some things still haven't quite gone to plan. So we are currently heading north on the M6. When I say we, that's me, Dougal, the courtesy Navara. Yes, not my Navara. We're in the courtesy car, and Glynnis on the back. Anyway, we're coming up to my favourite section of the M6 in the Lake District, so I'll switch the camera around and then I'll tell you what's been going on and what we're doing. So here we are, we're coming up to the good bit. We're a few miles south of T-Bay services, heading north. Unfortunately, the weather isn't too great, so you can't see too much, which kind of sums it up at the moment. Actually, this is the best the weather has been since we left Kent. It has been horrendous weather. We've been towing through heavy rain and wind, so it's been a bit grim. Anyway, unfortunately, the run of not so good luck has been continuing. We'll start with the car. My Navara came back from Nissan after only 4 days. So the good news is it didn't have to go back to Spain, but they did take the back of it off. They've treated it all with anti-corrosion stuff. Unfortunately, you may know that the tailgate on my car is damaged. I damaged it a long time ago, towing with the tailgate down, thinking, oh well, I'll get that repaired one day. Well, unfortunately, when they've put the tub back on the back of my Navara, they've done it in a way that now I cannot open the tailgate or open the armadillo cover at all. They are absolutely jammed solid. I cannot access the back of my car. My local Nissan dealer was too busy to even look at it in the 2 days we had before I was going away. So the lovely people at Nissan Customer Services said, keep hold of the courtesy car until you get back. So that's what we're doing. We're in the courtesy car. So the good news is I'm putting all the miles on somebody else's car. The bad news is that this car does not have a covered back. It's got an open back. And that's not so good when you're carrying a load of stuff and the weather's not so good. And I was wondering what to do, but good old Jules from the channel Here We Tow, he said, why don't you get a tarpaulin? So that's what I've done. I've been to Halford, spent £12 on a tarpaulin, and managed to tuck it in and put some bungee straps down, and it seems to be keeping everything pretty much drying. Everything on the back is obviously in sealed plastic boxes, so fingers crossed everything will stay dry in the back. And yes, as I say, we're putting the miles on somebody else's car, so it's not all bad. So that's the car. And then Glynnis, I picked up Glynnis, my 71, my 1971, oh 72, nearly 50-year-old vintage Sprite from storage. She'd only been in storage for a few weeks since the NEC, and when I was coming back from the NEC, the heavens opened and I was towing Glynnis through some very heavy rain. Unfortunately, she's not very well. First of all, I discovered 2 damp patches in Glynnis, one at the front and midway up at waist height, and one at the back down near the floor. So obviously Glynnis does not like being towed in the rain. Second thing I found was that in the place I stored her, the mice had got in. So there was evidence of mice all over the caravan. So that needed clearing up as well. Fortunately, I don't think the mice have done any serious damage. My friend Gary, who is a Sprite expert, he has a 1984, I think, vintage Sprite. he says that I should use tumble dryer sheets, like February sheets or something. So apparently if you put tumble dryer sheets in all the lockers, it should hopefully keep the mice away. Also, a lot of you may know the caravan journalist Richard Chapman, the man with a tan. He's recommended that I use balls of cotton wool soaked in peppermint oil. Apparently the mice don't like that as well. So if you have a problem with mice in your caravan, do try one of those two things, tumble dryer sheets or cotton wool balls soaked in peppermint oil. I shall certainly be trying one of those in the next time I put Glynnis into storage. So we have set off on our journey, and as I say, the weather has been pretty horrendous, and last night we decided to stay the night at Chapel Lane Caravan and Motorhome Club site near Birmingham. And having towed through the rain, we got to the campsite, and inside the front of the caravan was absolutely soaking wet. I put towels across the front window, but they had helped. They'd all soaked up a lot of water, but there was still water had come down inside. I think it's leaking through the window. I've already resealed the window, but still the rain is coming in when you're towing. So last night was not great. I had all the heaters on at the front of the caravan, and Dougal and I were perched on the bed at the back with all our stuff around us, so it wasn't the best night. But it was a nice sight, and unfortunately didn't sleep too well either. I managed to pick up a bit of a chest infection, so that you can't attribute that to sleeping in a damp caravan, because I had that beforehand. So all in all, it's not been terribly great, and I guess the takeaway from this is if you do have a vintage caravan and you are going to subject it to extreme weather, you may find that it doesn't handle that weather as well as a modern caravan. So that's what's happened so far. What are we doing and where are we going? Well, as I hinted before, Glynnis has no heating in her. I'm using an electric radiator and a fan heater at the moment. Well, we are on our way at the moment to Northern Ireland, and we are going to go and see the lovely people at Whale, because you may remember from my NEC vlog, I stopped at the Whale stand and said, oh, they've got a new space heater called the Heat Air. Well, what with all the problems I've had and looking at Glynnis having no heating, Whale came to me and said, would you like us to fit a Heat Air to Glynnis? And I thought about that for 2 nanoseconds before I said, yes please. And even better, the lovely people at Whale are sponsoring the next vlog, not this one, this is on me. They're sponsoring the next vlog, so I can take you for a tour of the Whale factory, and you can see what they get up to. So I'm so looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to going to Northern Ireland. Never been there, never been to Belfast, never been to Bangor, so that is really exciting. And at the moment we are heading north on the M6. We're just about, I think we're going to stop at T-Base Services. It's supposed to be very good. And we're on our way to a little CL tonight, certificated location, which is a 5 caravan members only site near Newton Stewart in Dumfries and Galloway, because tomorrow we're going to be getting the ferry from Cairnryan Port to Belfast with Stena Line. Right, well I think our luck is finally on the up. I did want to finish this vlog in a bit more of a relaxed manner, but as ever, I've run out of time and we are now rushing for the ferry. But I just want to tell you how our luck is now improving. And first of all, the CL that we stayed at last night, the Caravan and Motorhome Club certificated location. For those of you who don't know, certificated sites are affiliated to one of the 2 major clubs in the UK, and they can take up to 5 caravans, and you have to be a club member. It means that the clubs regulate the sites themselves, and they don't need as strict planning permission as they would if they were a larger commercial site. There are thousands of these brilliant little sites across the country, and they're well worth joining one of the clubs just to enjoy the network. Now, normally I am the world's worst person at finding a decent CL. If there is one where you're going to be parked in the middle of a mud bog next to a skip and pay £25 a night for the privilege, that's me. But I have just found the best CL ever, and I just want to share it with you. It's called Mains of Machermore, and I'll put a link in the description below. We're just leaving the farm now. And it's absolutely brilliant. There are 5 hard-standing pitches, and each pitch is a service pitch, so there is water and grey waste to your pitch. There's obviously chemical disposal and rubbish disposal, and there's also a little amenity block on site where there's a small information room where you can sit and browse the leaflets of the local tourist attractions, and there is also a fabulous little toilet and ensuite shower room. Now, to use the shower, it's £1 for 15 minutes, so even if you've got long hair, 15 minutes is going to be long enough to wash your hair. It's all accessible. The downside is that it is not really wheelchair accessible, because outside there is a narrow path leading up to the amenity block and there is 1 step. So it's just a small thing, but if you are a wheelchair user, you might just want to check with the site. But otherwise, once you're in the little toilet block, it's completely accessible, very clean, even little hand towels to dry your hands on, and you put them in the little laundry basket afterwards. Really, really lovely. And the price you pay for a couple is £15 for 1 night, which is super reasonable, including electric, and I paid £14 for 1 person. Finally, just to put the real tin hat on it, that it is within cycling distance of Kirritree 7 Stains mountain bike trails. So if you're a mountain biker, it's definitely a site to put on your list, because you can actually cycle to Kirritree, and that is just amazing. It's about a mile or so away, so really, really good. So that was our first stroke of good luck, and finally, it's not quite decided yet, but it looks like we should be getting a motorhome for January. So we're off on a trip in the final stages, not quite signed off yet, but thanks for everyone for your support in everything. But I'm really looking forward to getting Glynnis sorted out for the winter and seeing really if you can go caravanning in a budget vintage caravan. And then finally in January, we're looking forward to a trip in a very, very lovely motorhome. So that's where we are now. I'm going to wrap this vlog up here after I've parked up and put some towels across the front window of Glynnis, because it's just started raining again. We're on our way to Cairnryan Port to get the ferry now over to Belfast. So stick around on the channel and look out for some videos from our visit to Wales. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this little vlog. It was done a bit on the fly, on the hoof, but I hope you found it enjoyable. If you did, please give us the thumbs up, subscribe if you don't already, and it just leaves me to say, from Dougal and from me, thanks for tuning in. Oh, that chest.